Hello, everyone, and welcome to our horse talk. Today, we're going to be talking about GonaCon use on the TRNP wild horses. Uh, I do have everyone muted, so if you have questions, please add them to the chat and we'll answer them after the presentation. As you know, we were in the park again yesterday, and there were NPS employees starting the horses with GonaCon already this year. I want to say that yesterday I decided to take a day off. This is something I don't do all the time, but I thought it'd be nice to just go enjoy the horses we're fighting so hard for. Our first viewing of the horses included Arrowhead, Xander, and Ollie Jr.'s bands, all on alert. When we looked around to see what had them in that state, we noticed park employees with his dart gun. I want to say once again for the record, Chasing Horses Wild Horse Advocates is not against the use of birth control. We are against the unfounded, aggressive use of a drug that is known to cause sterility in mares. I want to start with a little history on GonaCon for those of you who may not be aware. And also for those of you who may not be aware, this is Blake McCann, the Chief of Resource Management at Theodore Roosevelt National Park that we reference quite regularly. In 2009, Colorado State University conducted an experiment with the park on the wild horses in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. In that experiment, about 25 mares were hand injected with GonaCon at a roundup in 2009. 4 years later, the same mares were hand injected again during the 2013 roundup. To date, 19 of those 25 mares still have not returned to fertility. The results were so exciting to the researchers that Colorado State University was funded for a second experiment on the Theodore Roosevelt National Park wild horses from 2015 to 2020. Mares were given an initial dose of GonaCon and then a second dose or booster. Some mares received their second dose at 6 months. Some received their second dose at 1 year. And the last group received a second dose at 2 years. The majority of the funding that was received came from the BLM. The BLM is a part of the Department of the Interior, DOI. Both the National Park Service and the BLM fall under their jurisdiction. This is a project proposal from the Bureau of Land Management from Colorado State University to experiment on the horses in Theodore Roosevelt National Park. You can find this on our website on our GonaCon page. So if you wanted to see the whole project proposal and what they were doing. And then this screen I wanted to share, this is from the BLM's own website. And this is called the top 5 things to know about wild horse and burro fertility control. And you'll see number 2 on there, currently available fertility control vaccines have limits. The PZP vaccine is generally only effective for 1 to 2 years, after which an annual booster is required to keep it working. There is some evidence that GonaCon equine can last up to 5 to 6 years if boosted after an initial dose. So GonaCon was sold as a way to save manpower and money because unlike PZP, it did not require yearly darting. GonaCon is believed to have a longer efficacy. This is a selling point, especially on the Western Range where it's harder to keep track of in dart mares. Because of what we've witnessed with GonaCon and the TRNP herd, I will admit I am not a fan. Most of that comes from the lack of trust with the National Park Service. I spoke with a BLM employee on a Western HMA. They use PZP native because it's reversible and only use GonaCon on older mares over the age of 15 who have contributed to the genetics of the herd, or if there is a mare that PZP is not working on. I could accept that. That is responsible birth control. Like it or not, the park is fenced, so the numbers have to be controlled. Having personally seen mares chasing after their babies during captures, or seeing mares and stallions crying out for their babies as they race around the park looking for them after they were captured and sold, I prefer that the park population be controlled with the responsible use of birth control. That is not happening at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and we do not trust that it can happen without some federal mandate. This is not just about the 76% reduction in foaling over the 8 years that I personally have been documenting this herd. This is about the park trying to permanently sterilize the herd. We do have regular meetings and communication with Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Last year, we had meetings with an unprecedented 3 different superintendents. Blake McCann, the park's chief of resource management, is always present at these meetings. When we stated or asked in December that we expected with such aggressive use of GonaCon in 2024 that we would not see darters in the park in 2025, Blake said, no, we will be darting. We are trying to halt the reproduction of this herd. What more do you need to know? You want proof? You can find the proof on their website. So if you be patient with me, I'm going to go back and just go to their website so that you can see this for yourself. All right, hold on a minute. So if you go to the park's website, they give updates. So like, for example, this will show you where the horses go with the collars. And they're posting this, I guess, quite regularly. So they have an update to the October 2025 horse management data, and there's a couple different reports on here. So the first table will show you horses that were captured during the roundup. The second one will show you horses that weren't captured. And the third one is the one I want you to see because this is Theodore Roosevelt National Park herd GonaCon administration and foaling history for all mares known to be present in the park as of 10/16/24. So when you look at this, for one, they list all the horses by number, which we complained about. But we did, to the best of our ability, take these codes and put them on our website. So when you look at the horses of Theodore Roosevelt National Park, this number is there so you can see who this mare is. So this first one is Mare Frosty. And it'll tell you F is if they fold, G is if they got GonaCon. The asterisk means that they got hand injected with GonaCon during the roundup. So if you look at this 2024 column, you can see as we scroll down, every mare but 2 and the 4 foals that were born as of this time, there were 5, another one born in December, so she's not on the sheet. But every single one of them appeared to have gotten an injection of GonaCon in 2024. The 2 mares that didn't are Mare B, who wasn't brought in, and Mare Velvet, and I don't understand why she wasn't injected because they put a collar on her. So I'm not sure about that. So this again is public. This is what the park made public to everybody. This is one of their reports. So again, looks like every single mare received GonaCon in 2024. So now, let me get back to my other screen. So, as we watched the darter yesterday, we noticed that when he was heading back to his truck, I took advantage of the opportunity to talk directly to him to try to get some answers. I also want to note that in January of this year, I sent an email to the park asking for clarification on some of the reports they released and some of the general questions about the use of GonaCon. I'm still waiting for a reply, even though Superintendent Daniels told me on March 4th that she had the answers. They now sit on her desk and she would get them to me soon. 24 days later, I'm still waiting for that reply. When I asked the darter who he was targeting, he told me Xander, Arrowhead, and Half Moon's band. When I asked why and let him know they were all darted last year, he told me they were not. Now, again, we all just looked at the report that showed all but 2 mares and the 4 fillies that were too young were all hand injected with GonaCon last year. He stated that they dart mares every other year. I told him he should look at their website because the reports on there tell a different story. He also told me they can't use PZP because it has to be administered every year. When I said you're administering GonaCon every year, he again denied that and said they darted every other year. Let's say he's right. They dart every other year. All we have are the records the park shared, and as we looked at earlier, those records show that all but 2 mares and the 5 newborn fillies received GonaCon in 2024. So let's look at the bands. Half Moon's band has a new filly named Josie. She was born on April 8th, 2024. We know they're targeting her this year. Blake told us that at a meeting. She was too young at the roundup to get an injection 5 months ago, but now they're ready. So even though we'll say she's not even a year old yet, once the calendar flips to January, all the horses increase in age. So as we said yesterday, that even includes filly Ivy, who was just born in December. She's now a year old. So I won't look at this band in detail because we know why they're targeted, right? They're looking at Josie. But let's look at Xander's band. 2001 mare Pale Lady received GonaCon injections in 2015, 2016, 2020, 2022, and 2024. She last foaled in 2016, so they should not be targeting her. Mare Winter was one of the original mares who received GonaCon in 2009. She received additional doses in 2013, 2020, and 2024. She has not foaled since 2012. So again, she should not be someone they're targeting in this band. Mare Spotted Blue is another one of the original 25 mares first treated in 2009. She received additional doses in 2013, 2020, and 2024, and has not foaled since 2014. Mare Angel, another of the original 25 mares first treated in 2009. She received additional doses in 2013, 2019, 2021, and 2024. She has not foaled since 2020. Mare Blue Angel, she was given GonaCon Mare Taylor. Mare Taylor should not be getting GonaCon. She was one of the 5 mares that were taken off GonaCon. So she did receive injections in 2015, 2016, 2019, 2021, and 2024. She last foaled in 2019. Mare Blue Angel was given GonaCon in 2021, 2022, and 2024. We believe that she has never foaled, but according to the park record, she foaled in 2022. If she did foal, the foal failed to thrive. Mare Misty Blue received GonaCon in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, including a hand injection at the 2024 roundup. Again, remember how they're supposed to be darting every other year? She last foaled in 2023. 2023 filly Bluebell was hand injected at the October 2024 roundup. The darter told us specifically that he was targeting Xander's band, and we have video showing him trying to dart the band. So I don't see anyone in this band that they should be targeting because according to what the park has told us, they all received GonaCon in 2024. And according to the darter, they only dart every other year, right? So Arrowhead's band was nearby. The darter also mentioned his band, so maybe looking at their GonaCon injection schedule will help. 2004 mare Little Brother's Girl. She was one of the original 25 mares treated in 2009. She received additional doses in 2013, 2020, and 2024. Mare Diamond, another of the original 25 mares treated in 2009, received additional doses in 2013, 2020, and 2024. Diamond has never foaled. 2006 mare Domino first received GonaCon in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2024. Remember, every other year. She last foaled in 2021. Mare Blue, another one of the original mares treated in 2009, received additional injections in 2013, 2020, and 2024. She last foaled in 2014. 2007 mare Sapphire was given GonaCon in 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2024, including a hand injection in 2024 at the roundup. She last foaled in 2021. 2013 mare Justice. Justice is another one that was taken off GonaCon by the park, so she shouldn't be being targeted. She received GonaCon in 2015, 16, 20, 22, and 24, and last foaled in 2021. Mare Velvet in the Middle received GonaCon in 2015, 2016, and 2020. She's one of the 2 mares that did not receive GonaCon in 2024, and I don't understand why, because she also was now wearing a collar, so they got her in for the roundup. They put a collar on her, so it doesn't make sense that they didn't inject her with GonaCon, but She last foaled in 2016 and hasn't foaled since. 2019 mare Anasac. Now, Anasac, I want to just point out, is a daughter of Mare Perdita. Mare Perdita, hopefully you remember, is the one with the special mitochondrial DNA. So Anasac, her offspring, was given GonaCon in 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2024, including a hand injection at the roundup, and she has never foaled. Mare Jewel received GonaCon in 2021, 2022, and 2024. She last foaled in 2023, and that foal failed to thrive, and she has not foaled since. 2021 filly Dominique. Pay attention to this one. I told the darter that according to the records the park released to the public, some young fillies 4 and 5 years old have received 3 to 4 doses of GonaCon already. He said I was wrong and insisted they only dart every other year. Dominique, born in 2021, received GonaCon in 2022, 2023, and 2024, including a hand injection during the roundup. Aside from Velvet, I do not see any other mares that should be targeted for additional doses of GonaCon, either based on the aggressive use of GonaCon or the darter statement that they inject mares every other year. In our horse talk with Dan Baker, he told us that there was no data to support this aggressive use of GonaCon. And that video is available on our YouTube channel. When I asked the shooter why they would continue to dart the mares, he said because they keep falling. Yes, the non-responders do, I told him. This is why they should try PZP on the non-responders, because the same mares having babies year after year is only contributing to the inbreeding issues of the herd. The fact is simple. The park has never properly managed the horses, and as Senator Josh Boucher stated in his speech on the Senate floor for SB 2331, the park lacks staff with proper equine management knowledge. This park has only ever managed numbers for the horses. The park also has a long history of trying to eradicate the horses, and that's what they're silently doing now with GonaCon. So what is Chasing Horses Wild Horse Advocates doing to stop this? We got asked this question a lot yesterday. We're continuing to educate the public and our elected officials. We're working on meetings with our federal legislators and continue to write blogs and hold horse talks like this to educate the public. We continue to communicate with the press. Patrick Springer wrote a great article today in the Fargo Forum. Because of our concerns about GonaCon, he also reached out to Senator Hoven's office. From the article, Hoven is preparing to take legislative action to protect the horses, spokesperson Alex Finken said. Last year, Senator Hoven secured a commitment from the National Park Service to maintain the wild horses at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and he is working to introduce legislation to ensure the NPS maintains a herd of free-roaming horses on a permanent basis, Finken said. CHWHA is in regular communication with Senator Hoven's office. Remember, our elected officials do not know there's an issue unless we tell them about it. We have also reached out to our legal team. Our lawyers, our environmental lawyers, who very sadly are really busy these days. We will be meeting with them soon to discuss legal recourse. CHWHA also lobbied and lobbied for sponsors and co-sponsors for a Senate concurrent resolution SCR 4006 that just passed the North Dakota legislature. This resolution asks that our federal legislators help get federal protection for this herd. And CHWHA has hired Vice Policy Group to help us realize federal protection for this herd. That includes drafting legislation and lobbying Congress. All of these steps have been and continue to be necessary in our journey for federal protection. There are several other things that we're working on that we can't talk about at this moment, but I hope to be able to share some updates with everybody soon. What you can do, send emails to the National Park Service, management, Governor Armstrong, and North Dakota's federal legislators. We made this easy with a one-click email, and if anyone's interested, I can add that link in the chat. You can send this email as many times as you want. You can send it 100 times a day if you want to. And those things make a difference, because when they start seeing so many emails and so many things coming across their desk, that's what makes them take action. On Monday, I'm going to try to put together a new call to action I've been working on. And the third thing you can do is support our critical advocacy work. We are a very small nonprofit, and literally every dollar that you donate goes to help us continue on. So there's a lot more to all this than what we see at face value. I hope that this helps bring some clarity, and I'll try to answer questions as you guys have them. So if you want to put them in the chat, if anyone has questions, there's a lot more to talk about. I didn't know how far to go with this or what to say or do. So it's very upsetting. People have asked, did we know that they were doing this? Again, we knew that they were going to be darting, but there's no reason for them to be darting all the mares that they are the way that they are. It's just showing how determined they are to sterilize this herd. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. If you do, put them in the chat. If not, I didn't get any emails, and I know a lot of people, I tried to cover all the questions that people asked yesterday in the blog, but the biggest thing is just everybody needs to stay vocal. The reason why we have been successful is that this is not me doing anything. This is not our organization doing anything. It's everybody elevating their voices and making one very loud voice that can't be ignored. That's how we got changes going, and that's how we'll continue to get changes going. So doing the calls to action, sending the emails. I know all of this moves very slowly. I wish that we can get it to end tomorrow. And believe me, I try so hard every day to make it end. Um, but we have to follow a process and go through the channels that we need to go through. I did feel very good hearing what Patrick Springer's quote that he gave from Senator Hoeven's office, because it just reiterates to me that, they're not just telling me things when they talk to me, they're actually working on things and really committed to keeping this herd in the park. So they're aware of the issues. We continue to make them aware of the issues, and that's all I had then. So if no one else has any other questions, I'll end this now. And if you do have questions, you can always email us at info@chwha.org, and I'll be happy to answer them as much as we can. Everyone just needs to realize that I'm one person, and sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. But if you have questions, you can put them on a post, you can put them in an email, and we'll answer them as soon as we can. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And we'll have more soon. So be sure to check back on Monday. We will have a new call to action. Thank you guys. Have a good night.